All right, it is 7 o'clock. We're going to get started. Calling the meeting to order. First is our flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bollenbacher.
Here.
Mr. Chandler? Here. Mr. Choate? Here. Ms. Capitello?
Here.
Mr. Hof? Here. Mr. Oliverio?
Here.
Ms. Pakalnek?
Here.
Mayor Perry?
Here.
Solicitor Corwell?
Here.
Engineer Keenan? Here. Director Tedesco is off today, and so is Chief Ford. And myself, we do have a quorum.
Great, thank you. So we have the consent agenda, so we have the council meeting minutes. All these are on the OneDrive of November 13th. We have the bill list from November 24th, and then all the reports that are on the agenda. Looking for a motion to approve the November 24th, 2025 consent agenda pending bill list approval by the Borough President, Manager, and Treasurer.
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Bollenbacher.
Second.
Mr. Choate. Oop, sorry, Mr. Ho. You threw your voice. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Public comments. At this time, citizens may address the Crafton Borough Council on any issue appearing on today's agenda. Only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Crafton will be permitted to address the council. Comments on non-agenda items will be taken at the end of tonight's meeting. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Groups of people will designate a spokesperson to represent them before the council, who may speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. Council has the option to respond or not at the end of the address. The solicitors are assigned timekeeper. Please state your name and physical address for the record. Nobody signed it? Okay. Anybody online, please raise your hand.
No attendees.
No attendees. Okay. All right. First is our president's report. So again, the construction projects over the past few weeks have intensified. So we're asking again for patience for the road closures, the delays that are happening with that. All of these things happen during construction, and part of it is that we can't do construction without these things. There's no way to snap our fingers and to have everything done. So patience is key. All right, Mayor's report.
Well, something has been accomplished, so I want to congratulate everyone on finally finishing up Steuben and how smooth it is, how nice it looks, and how nice it's not to have those backups anymore. So we did live through this. And the other thing, yes, we did. I thought for a while that we weren't. It was getting pretty bad, and I can tell you the chief and I took some beatings on this one. So. Anyway, glad that one is over and done. The other thing
I'd like to acknowledge that Larry has also taken a beating on this one.
Yes, he has too. I know, down there. And I also wanted to acknowledge and commend our Public Works for the great job they're doing with leaf pickup right now, and the special attention they're paying to the sewer drains as well. So, doing a great job. That's it for me.
Thanks. Solicitor's report.
No public report this evening.
All right, thank you. Manager's report, Mr. Price.
Thank you. So first update, the budget process. We did have our 6th budget workshop. We did, again, affirm a balanced budget. Choices have been made, and we're ready to go. That has been advertised. There is a copy of it available in the office, and it'll be accompanied by 2 memos, an additional memo from today, and then I will update it with a memo as well stating the changes that we made tonight. So that will be reflected if anybody wants to view that. I will also get that budget, both of those memos posted online as soon as I can. Hopefully, I will get at least one of them posted tomorrow, and hopefully the other one as well. So that budget process is moving forward. The final vote for that will be at the next council meeting on December 11th. And there is an opportunity to make small changes at that December 11th workshop meeting as well. The next thing on my agenda is the discrimination law amendment. So this is an advertised amendment that we have put out. This amendment adds additional language to sections 95-3 through 95-6 of the Borough Code to align with the county's code, and it repeals most of sections 95-7 and 95-8, which included the creation of an EEO board. And so those are the sections that will be repealed. So with that, I'd like to motion to adopt ordinance number 1681, amending Chapter 95 of the Crafton Borough Code, adding language to sections 95-3 through 95-6, and repealing most of sections 95-7 and 95-8, eliminating the borough's EEO board, and streamlining the performance for claims.
Procedure.
Oh, for procedure for claims, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Bolenbacher. Oh, who is it?
Second.
Ms. Compitello, any comments or discussion?
Has the borough received any questions about this over the weeks that we've been advertising it?
Nope, we have not. We did receive comment prior to it being eliminated, and we did make changes based on that. That's why we're keeping the actual law itself that makes these things unlawful in the borough to match what the county has, just to strengthen essentially our the policy on that. But no, I have not. Since that conversation, I've had no comments.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes.
All right. The next item on the agenda is, this is something that every year Jordan Tax gets tax appeals are made. And this year, Jordan has presented us with real estate tax refunds for 2024 and 2025. And those refunds total $3,094.74. So I'd like to motion to approve the 2024 and 2025 real estate tax refunds in the amount of $3,094.74 as prepared and submitted by Jordan Tax Service.
So moved.
Mr. Hope.
Second.
Mr. Chandler. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
All right. Great notice. We did the GETDF grant. We were awarded $155,000 for upgrades to the Crafton pool. There is a 50% match, including, and this was for the roof, the new slide, an AC unit for the concession stand, and a new pavilion inside the pool area. All requested by community members or pool staff and managers. So we're still waiting for the DCNR decision, which we anticipate either happening in December or early in January, because if we do want to reapply for DCNR funding, that's when they open their funding for that period. So I'd like a big thank you to State Senator Fontana and State Rep Dan Deasy for their support in helping us get this project. I know Representative Deasy had called us about this and asked us further questions and expressed interest, so he was very happy to be able to support this project.
The DCNR additional grant money would be for the 50% match to cover that, am I right?
Correct, yeah, both of these grants, this is less than what we asked for. We did ask for $250,000 or $225,000 for a $450,000 project. We got $155,000, and the other one is also for $450,000, so it might not be it might be that this is a match for that one in the end, and we might have to put some money in if we want to do all the work, depending on what they give us. But if we get that grant completely, it will be only like a 20% match if we wanted to do all the work. Yeah, which is great. And the blighted houses list, I had to confirm a few things with legal. And so this should be out before Thanksgiving, so I look at that coming out either Tuesday or Wednesday this week. So I'll be getting that to everybody, and that'll be posted online. And then the last thing on the list, the trail study, we do have a draft trail study now. Larry and I have been going through that, providing comments. There were sort of like spelling mistakes and some other just issues, so we're going to get that back to them, and then we have to schedule a final meeting with the committee, but we want enough time. Hopefully, my goal is to have it scheduled by the middle, to happen by the middle of December. We want to make sure the committee members, because it's a 50-page document, it's pretty detailed, so we want to make sure they have time to review it. So once we've gotten it back to the consultant, we hope that they'll have an updated one by December 1st, and then we'll work with the committee to schedule that next meeting. And then it'll be coming to Planning Commission. So we'll send it to Planning Commission after that, in which case the Planning Commission has an opportunity to review it, make any comments or suggestions. And then if they approve it, it will come here as a trail plan for the borough. So we're getting very close to that being ended. And I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but we did have a lot of people sign up to be willing to help the community and serve as volunteers. So we're excited that that will hopefully have legs of its own. So with that, that is my report.
Great, thank you, Mr. Price. Engineers report, Mr. Keene.
Broadhead Sewer Separation Project. Right now, the contractor is currently doing sewer construction on Broadhead, curb, sidewalk, and road construction on Warren, and sewer construction on Coulter Street. The Crafton Boulevard closure and detours are expected to be done after this week. That's subject to change due to tomorrow's rain, but if it does, it'll carry into next week. Closure of the trail portion is still in effect until the final restoration takes place, and weekly contractor meetings and updates to the Borough construction webpage are ongoing. The expected project completion remains the same, October next year. Next items are some current construction details I wanted to share with you guys. Monday, paving, bottom half of Warren Street. Wednesday, trench paving on Coulter Street. Monday through Tuesday, paving and restoration on Crafton Boulevard. Monday through Tuesday, curb and ramp at Linwood and Warren. And Wednesday, Linwood and Warren intersection paving. Again, subject to change due to tomorrow's rain.
So did some of these already happen then?
Monday, they probably worked on the paving. Yeah, and they were working on some structures installation at the Linwood intersection.
Yeah, we're not sure. We weren't out in the field.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So.
Yeah, it's this week, all these items.
Right, right.
Okay. Moving on, Chartiers Creek Trail. This is related to the Broadhead Sewer Separation Project and is a change order request to complete the Chartiers Creek Trail ramp paving and slope change to be ADA compliant. That expected cost is to be $61,825. Right now, this portion of the trail is around 12 to 15% steep, and we're looking to make it 8%, so it can be ADA compliant. And with that said, I want to go to a motion to accept the change order from A. Morante on the Broadhead Sewer Separation Project for $61,825 to change top portion of Chartiers Creek trail slope to 8% and to pave the portion with asphalt.
And I'll give some background here. I know this is kind of a fresh ask for everyone, and there's been a lot of moving parts in this project. For the trail project itself, we explored the contractor explored 3 different options, none of which were great. They all had their own failures. The best one was incredibly expensive, of course, right? So it was over $1 million for that option. The other 2 options were less attractive. One would not allow emergency vehicles to go through it at all. It would only allow for like ATVs and whatnot. So that wasn't a very attractive option. The other option was keeping the Jeep trail exactly as it is, but building a very complicated switchback system to accommodate walkers and bikers and whatnot to keep it ADA compliant. Not super attractive, but in that process, A. Morante, who's working on the Broadhead project, came to us and said, hey, we'll put fill down there because we're pulling all of this fill out of the roadways and whatnot, so we can add fill. And we had been told this about a month and a half ago or so, or 2 months ago, and they've been very insistent they want to do this because it's going to save them money. But we weren't sure that it was good for us or that it was good for the trail system. The contractor has since now, the contractor for the trail the consultant for the trail program has now redone an option that is a great combination of those two things. So what it's going to do is it's basically going to take two of the options that they had designed and combine them. And so it's taking the Jeep trail that exists now, and we had explored with the contractor, with the Broadhead contractor as well, Amarante, doing fill all the way down to the bottom. Why are we doing this in sections? And the reason it's not, we can do the top portion, but doing the lower portions gets us involved in DEP contract or DEP permits, because now you're entering the floodplain, and so it's much more difficult to get approvals on that. And so we kept working with them and talking about options, and basically with when GII, the consultant on the trail project, came back and said, oh, this alignment could work. So basically it's taking the top portion of it and using the fill to make it an 8% grade, and then keeping the bottom portion of the Jeep trail intact the way it is right now, but doing a switchback, a smaller switchback that's much more affordable just on the very bottom portion, to get past that portion where we would have to get extra funding. And so now we have an opportunity to have the top portion done now, right away, and then do the later portion done when we go out for funding for DCNR work or whatnot. But Larry and I needed to understand whether this was even a deal. Was the $60,000 offer on their behalf a good option for the borough? And we had Gateway investigate it, and it did come back that if we were to bid this project just for that portion, it would be more than double the cost. So this is essentially half the cost of what it would cost us to do this if we paid for it outright, that portion of the work. So that's why we're suggesting that we do this work. It does not have to be approved tonight. It can be approved at the next meeting, but that's the absolute last. We basically have to make a decision by the December 11th meeting. But I wanted to put it on here as an option. Overall, it doesn't bring the bond fund to under $1 million. So we're still in fairly good room. But I just wanted to bring it up as an option. And if you want to make that decision tonight, you can. But that's what this is about.
So we had a motion that wasn't
Second.
it wasn't first or made by anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so does anybody want to make a motion, or do we want to have a discussion?
What kind of
Yes, discussion.
studies or engineering have been done on the portion that they would be putting this soil in? I know this all happened, within the last 2 months, this came up as an option. So in that time, we have a contractor who's doing work for a completely separate project, who's going to dump their fill over here, and there's a benefit to us. But what kind of engineering or studies or analysis has been done to ensure that it's being put in the right place and that it's going to be stable?
No, other than
Nothing other than the estimate. I think that was done for this, but yeah, we can look into that.
Yeah, basically what's been done today is what was done by GAI Consultants, which is a very high-level planning review. It's not an analysis. It's not a soil test. It's none of those things. And then when the engineers reviewed it, they were reviewing just for, and this Gateway reviewed it just for the estimate cost, so it didn't do anything with soil test or any look into that any deeper.
So like if we give this change order, what kind of language or expectations are built into that to ensure that it's being done to a certain standard, or if it doesn't stay in place the way it's supposed to, what in the change order would give us any kind of protection?
That's a great question, and other than the initial contract, we don't have additional protections.
If I could jump in, I would just condition the acceptance of the change order on those items being fulfilled to our expectations. So if somebody looks at it and says that the fill shouldn't go there, or it's not stable to do it, whatever that might be, then we would not have to follow through with the change order. but it has to meet our requirements. If you guys were interested in doing that tonight, that's what I would say.
I think this is a good idea, but I would like to make sure that we know, the terms of the contract, the terms of the change order, and that we know that we are getting something that is done to quality standards, and that I would just like to make sure that we've taken the time to vet that.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We can go back to Gateway and.
Yeah, it'll definitely have to be inspected when it's done, make sure compaction is being, done right, and also on lifts, so.
Right.
Was there going to be multiple options proposed originally about how to reach this ADA compliance?
There were 3 options proposed, but the plan is pretty much going to rely on this one option since it was by far the best of the options.
I only bring it up because I feel like if we were to say yes to that, it kind of ties our hands into making that decision, and especially, this is part of the trail study as well, right?
Yeah.
Which hasn't been fully reviewed by the trail committee yet either.
And there's the other thought too, which is if we do apply for DCNR funding for this, most of the time it's a 50% match. So that's also could be looked at as a 50% discount. So that might be a wash down the road. I do think this is a good deal, but they're right. There are certain parts of due diligence that haven't happened yet. So I'm indifferent to which way we go, but the contractor would like us to do it. They've been asking us every week.
I think there's a benefit to doing something sooner if we're able to. This trail study has been in the works discussion-wise for a number of years. Now the project itself has been in the works for a year, and it's great to actually have an immediate project. Usually it takes a few more years after a study is done to find the funding to do the first project. So I'm relatively in favor, but not tonight, if we could gather some more information. And just make sure that we're not, going to have buyer's remorse.
Is there time to get input from the trail committee as well as GAI?
Yeah.
I know they've been somewhat involved, but a little bit more of a in-depth back and forth.
And this was this discussed at all with the trail committee before the open house? I know we've known about it for a little while.
Not before the open house. We did discuss options with the trail committee, but this option, because it has come up at the last minute, and we only had the chance to really vet it, and even for the basic financial aspect of it, in the last couple weeks. So it was discussed, I think, very briefly, if it was discussed at all, even at the open house, but it wasn't discussed in detail like this.
What happens if we don't do it?
The only drawback to not doing it right now is that it will be right now it's in an unfinished state, and they've left it that way, waiting for us to make this decision. And so that will continue for 3 more weeks. We'll have the trail in an unfinished state, meaning that you really shouldn't be walking on it. People are doing it because it was never an official trail in the first place. So, one of the big decision points on this is when they do this, they will pave it. We will suggest that if they don't do this work, we will have it just be gravel. And on a steep grade like it is, that's not a great solution. It wasn't a great solution. It's lasted, it's been okay, but it's not like, it was paved initially at one point, but it's just been deteriorating pavement for decades probably. And so you're leaving it with a gravel state is not a great idea for a very steep thing. That's probably the biggest drawback. Otherwise, do you know of any other drawbacks to not doing it? I think that's the big one.
Summarizes it, yeah.
Yep.
The area where it would switch to the switchbacks, where it gets into the water plane, would that then be gravel? We don't know yet.
It hasn't been touched. So the area that beyond, so basically what they would be filling in is from where they've done work. Beyond that has not been touched, so it's going to stay the way it is now. So basically what it is you have a very steep incline, then it kind of levels out. That's the portion that will be made to be 8%. Then there's another drop, and that drop cannot be done without getting DEP permits and whatnot, and that's why we had asked if they could fill that in, and that's why we're not suggesting they fill that in.
We still don't have a motion officially, so to move forward, there was a proposal for a motion. Does anybody want to make a motion for this? All right, hearing none, there is no motion.
Can we table the motion? Is that a?
There isn't a motion.
So we
it's-
don't need to
yeah,
do that.
Yeah.
There's no motion.
Okay.
So then is the takeaway that you're going to get more information?
Yeah.
And
Okay,
just add it to the next agenda.
Yep.
okay.
Okay, next item is the Perrine Street Sewer Project. This is still in the process of obtaining a resolution of taking from the city of Pittsburgh. Same update as last time. Per the solicitor, this is moving to a future Pittsburgh council meeting. Next is Ewing Road. Had some gateway discussions that yielded that a $100,000 solution is feasible. The next steps in this are to put together design plans and bid documents. This is the solution that we choose on. We are waiting on a work authorization for that, see how much that will be. But earlier discussions yielded that the expected schedule includes going out to bid in January, project award in February, and construction in early March. Any questions? Okay.
Would they be able to do construction in early March for that with asphalt or?
It'll depend on if the plants are open at that time,
Right.
but that's we'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's what we were told. The C-20 sewer separation, as mentioned earlier, the project has been completed apart from any items placed on a final punch list that is to be determined. That punch list walk is scheduled for next Tuesday, December 2nd. Just to recap here, Linden Avenue and Steuben Street paving has been completed. The new ramp at the southeast corner of Duncan and Steuben has been rebuilt, along with the asphalt in front of it to divert the water to the nearby inlets. The crosswalks at Duncan and Steuben intersection and the other road markings have been placed. Want to note that the contractor decided last minute on Friday to not put down the permanent markings and only apply the temporary, because the permanent markings are thermoplastic and they require certain temperatures to be met to apply this, and they weren't comfortable doing that, so they'll be back in the spring to do the permanent markings for this. But right now there are temporary markings down in all the locations that permanent markings are to be. Duncan Avenue paving, this is scheduled to be repaid in the future. We tried getting the paving contractor to come back out and redo it, but they were strongly against it. As a result, we'll be holding retainage from them that will be used to pay for the repaving of this road in the future. Next is the Public Works Building. The interior work, including utility rough-ins and framing, has been completed. Upcoming work includes drywall and additional utility installations. PA American Water agreement for the water main extension and hydrant has been sent, and they plan on going out to bid in the first week of December. Duquesne light work is still to be determined. Still waiting to hear from them when they will be doing their construction and utility extension down to the new building. Everything is set for them to do it. It's been paid for, just waiting to hear from them. The gas connection is expected to be done soon. That's in the hands of the plumbing contractor. And the overall project completion date is to be determined until all the utilities have been connected. Next is the Steuben-Linden intersection improvements. This project is essentially completed, with the exception of the as-built survey that PennDOT has requested. That is currently in progress. Next is the 2025 Brick Street Repair Project. The project was awarded to Solente Construction and will begin in April next year due to the time of year and the temperatures needed to do all the necessary concrete work that will be done in this project. The project involves priority areas including Brick Street, curbs, infrastructure, and concrete header repairs. The impacted streets for this include Clearview Avenue, Middle Street intersection, and 3 other areas along that street. North Grandview Avenue in front of number 8 and number 10. Bar Avenue around the manhole in front of 1769 Bar. And on Belvedere Street in front of 82 Belvedere. Going off of this is the road paving as part of the Broadhead Sewer Separation Project. Recap the affected streets: Crafton Boulevard between Broadhead and the trail entrance, Broadhead Avenue, Warren, Park, Coulter, Cornell and North Linwood are getting brick trench repairs, and North Emily Street and Belvedere also impacted by this. Last section is the permit applications, which are newly received permit applications for street utility work in the borough. Both fall under the road construction and excavation category. First is PA American Water at 58 Duncan, repair dimensions 6 foot by 5 foot. And PA American Water again at 91 Belvedere Street, dimensions 8 foot by 3 foot. That concludes the engineer's report. Unless any questions on anything? Let me know.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Community and Economic Development Director's Report.
Thank you. Yes. Mr. Tedesco is on vacation this week, so first thing, the Planning Commission update. The next meeting will be December 2nd at 6:30 p.m. They did move that meeting, and that was advertised, so, and that is on the website, so just an announcement. The zoning code update, as you all know, the council vote is scheduled and was advertised and scheduled for December 11th, so that's the next main council meeting. So that is the update there. 82 Belvedere Conservatorship RFP. The committee met and will interview a finalist in early December. We didn't get quite the results that we wanted with that. The highest bid was $20,000. So we're going to go back to them and discuss. I don't know, Matt, if you want to add any color to that or add anything to that.
Yeah, they had a pretty good proposal, but like you said, the cost was pretty much half of what we were looking for. And we had a lot of questions on some of the decisions they were going to make around certain parts of the house, which materials they were going to use. They quoted a pretty aggressive timeline, so we weren't comfortable saying yes to them unless they could give us more reassurances on the actual, like, how are you going to meet this timeline, what your schedule look like. So we wanted to have a face-to-face with them and go over some of our questions and then make either approve them and go through that process, or maybe put the RFP back out for bid with more explicit instructions on what the things we're looking for in proposals. And maybe go the MLS route as well. I know we didn't do that this time, so it was really just, you wouldn't know about it if you were a real estate guy looking at all the stuff online, so.
Right. Okay, great, thank you.
Yep.
Next up, the LSA grant. We are working to, we did have approval to procure vegetation for the work that was be done in front of the school. They will be purchasing that in the next week. And then we're planning to go out the bid once we need some updated documents from Gateway on and design and plan, and then we'll go out the bid for this in the spring.
And that's for the lights?
It would be 4 additional lights on Crafton Boulevard, the EV charger at the school, in the school parking lot, and then additional vegetation. Okay. So it'll probably end up consuming 70,000, 80,000 of that grant, is the guess.
Do we think that we would have all of that wrapped up? Because we can't pursue another LSA grant until we are done with this one. Yes. And this has been kind of hanging out for a few years. So when do we think we'll have this one wrapped up?
The ideal would be before June of next year. So, yeah. So if we put it out to bid early in the year, then hopefully we get it done and paid for by June.
What is the grant cycle for the LSA?
I don't recall the LSA grant cycle. It might be in the fall, but I don't remember that. And then the last thing on the update, if there's no more questions. Hi, Anna. Welcome. Steve just morphed into Anna. So the next item on my agenda is the tree plantings. There are 11 homes in Crafton Park. Has 5 donated trees, and then that is happening on December 9th with the Shade Tree Commission and Public Works. And that is the end of my update.
Great. Thanks. Any questions? All right. Standing Committee Report, Finance Administration Sustainability. Mr. Ho.
Finance Committee has not met since the previous council meeting, but we are going to be meeting this week. Once again, we are keeping an eye on the 2025 budget to actual financials and making end-of-year adjustments as needed. So there is no update to the police collective bargaining agreement. When there is, I'll be happy to include it in the report. Again, same as last meeting, but still seeking proposals for a 2025 fiscal year auditor, and the 2026 budget resolutions that we discussed in the budget workshop at the beginning of the meeting. Highlights is no tax increase on millage rates, but we do need to discuss the 2026 fee schedule and wage rates, and I believe we do that at the, do we do that at the reorg or the December 11th?
I will be sending out an update on the fee resolution to pass it at the next meeting with updated suggestions on what needs to change. The wage we haven't been passing typically until into next year, and so we'll probably pass that in late January, early February.
And that is all I have for my report, unless anybody has any questions.
All right. Infrastructure and land use, Ms. Comptello.
My report will also be fairly brief. The Infrastructure and Land Use Committee has also not met since our last council meeting. I've been giving updates for months now about our $325,000 grant for pedestrian and business and other business district improvements, as that's gone through various committees, discussions here, refinement into 3 different options, a public survey. That survey is closed, but we haven't had a chance to see and review all the results. So no substantial update today.
Okay. Very good. Communication recreation, Ms. Bolenbacher.
Celebration of Lights is less than 2 weeks away, Saturday, December 6th from 4 to 8. As a reminder, we're going to have food vendors, craft vendors. We're going to have entertainment by Carlington's High School Choir, as well as Joyful Noise Choir from Joy's School of Dance. We'll have our friends from Frozen as well as Santa. There'll be a dance party, prizes, games, bubble house, and much more. So everybody is welcome to come. Also in that day, if you want to make a full day of it, I know the library is having gingerbread house decorating in the morning from 9 to 10:30. You do have to pre-register for that, though. So if you're interested, go to the events calendar to sign up for that. They are also having from 7 to 9 after the Celebration of Lights. They're having an adult night out, 21 and over at the library. They'll be serving mulled wine, sangria, some other things, and just general holiday cheer. So you can make a whole day of Christmas on December 6th. There's also many, many other community ongoing events like yoga and community at the library, dinner parties, all those sort of things. So please just go to the website, the event center, or the event section of our website. There's so many things going on in the neighborhood. Too many to count. As usual, we need help decorating. The rec board has been doing a great job the last couple weekends, but we still have a few more days worth of decorating to get ready for the Celebration of Lights. So if anybody is interested, we actually don't have dates and times. They're going to be kind of random for the next 2 weeks. So if anybody's interested, please go to the website. Just give us your number. We'll be happy to text you. We'll also put it out on the rec board website when we're getting together at the park. Please show up and help a girl out. We would appreciate it. Unless there's any questions on that, the other thing I have to cover is the newsletter. Again, that'll be coming in February. So we'll be taking requests for articles soon. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, board commission recruiting, Ms. Buchanan.
Yep, so we, I feel like I've mentioned in the past couple meetings, we do have some vacancies on our boards and commissions that have become available just due to a couple resignations and the timing of seats expiring. I'll quickly go through our list, but we currently, what is available at this time is a civil service commission. We have an alternate seat available. That has been available for a while. Recreation board, we did have a resignation that is going to go into effect at the end of the year, so we are actively looking for anyone who's interested in being on the rec board. As Aaron just mentioned, this group does a lot throughout the neighborhood and planning events throughout the whole year. So that is something that we're actively trying to make sure people are aware is going to be available to start the new year off. Zoning hearing board, we had a current member recently moved. So due to his relocation, his seat is now going to be available as well. So we will have a full-time seat there. We also have, the Planning Commission had a resignation that will be at the end of this year. So again, we are looking actively for a person to fill the Planning Commission seat starting at the beginning of the year. Library Board has a resignation as well, so actively looking for that. And then the Zoning Hearing Board, they have in addition to the relocation person who vacated their, moved away, we have a regular and an alternate seat becoming available at the start of the new year. So that is a lot, but I will say already we have 4 interviews. It is official, I would say. It feels very buttoned up, this process, but we have 4 interviews already scheduled for the first week of December. So it's really nice to see that people are interested and they are going through the application process, which is very straightforward. It is straight on our website, boards, commissions. There is a form you fill out. It comes straight in. Give me about, typically, if it's a 48 hours business days. If I get it on a Saturday, I'm probably not going to be jumping on to respond. But 48 hours, I can acknowledge it, and we'll work to set up an interview. There are a lot of schedules to juggle when we're setting up these interviews, so it does take a day or two to work that out. But anyhow, lots currently available, and then once the new year starts, there will be, oh, I thought that was like a Christmas music cell phone. Once the new year starts, there will be more coming that I won't read now, but we will actively be mentioning this and trying to recruit people that are interested in volunteering for any one of these seats. I will say you have to live in Crafton to be on any of our vacancies, any of the boards and commissions. That is the number one. You have to have that. So, okay, that's it for me.
Great, thank you. The COG, Ms. Bolenbacher.
Oh, thank you. We hosted last week. It turned out very well. Thank you to all of the council members as well as Jim and Mike and Mayor for showing up. I appreciated that. And thanks to Mike and Jim for setting up, getting food, getting everything ready for us. It was a pretty successful meeting, I thought, on our end. The next one will be Thursday, December 18th at 6:30 in North Fayette. If anybody's interested, I am back to inviting, not demanding. So if you would like to join me, let me know. It is the annual Christmas party, so there is a grab bag if you'd like to take part, but that is voluntary. So if anybody would like to go, let me know so I can RSVP for you. That's it.
Great, thank you. All right, community announcements. Our next council meeting and the last one of the year will be Thursday, December 11th at 7 with the budget workshop right before at 6 o'clock. So like I said, it will be the last one of this year. Employment opportunities, substitute part-time crossing guard. You can apply online if you have an interest in that position. Celebration of Lights is next Saturday, December 6th from 4 to 8. That is extended hours over prior years, and that's in Crafton Park. And as Ms. Bolenbacher had mentioned, there's lots of activities going on. Also Saturday, December 20th at 9 o'clock, Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the Crafton Fire Department will work their way through the streets of Crafton by fire truck and visit also Thornburg and Roslyn Farms. Listen to the sirens and enjoy one of Crafton's oldest traditions. All right, I wrote that. It doesn't sound as well when I said it. Sorry. All right. Anybody else have any additional items? Okay. At this time, citizens may address the Crafton Borough Council on any issue. Only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Crafton will be permitted to address the council. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson to represent them before the council, who may speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. Council has the option to respond or not at the end of the address. The solicitors are assigned timekeeper. Please state your name and physical address for the record. So if you're here, you can just raise your hand. Sandy.
Hi, Sandy Morris, 1781 Bar Avenue. One question about the Ewing construction. Do you have any idea how long that will last once they do get started?
Not yet.
Wait. Is that?
My other question was going to be, in general, the building that is on East Crafton Avenue at the end of the street by the busway, it was up for sale, and somebody's working on it. I just wondered if anybody knew who bought it and what was going in there. It's like across from Caliente's headquarters.
Yeah, the one beside it.
Near you.
I don't know what that building, I forget who was in there.
Okay.
That was my other question. Because it just looks like they're doing a lot of work, so, which is a good thing.
Okay. Larry?
I'm sorry about that, but yeah, no anticipated construction schedule at this time. Still have to award this to a contractor, and it'll be really just communicating with them and seeing how long it will take. But we can get with Gateway and see if there's something that we can anticipate and disclose that at the next meeting. If
I
that
was
helps.
just curious, is it like 6 months or is it a year? I mean.
No, I would think within 6 months for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just curious.
definitely. Yeah, it's not, we're not doing all Ewing Road, it's only a portion of it, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then East Crafton Avenue building? Go, Mr. Versailles.
That is the Better Business Bureau of Western Pennsylvania. Yep.
Crafton, Better Business Bureau.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Yeah, Jan.
Hi, Jan Sweeney.
I don't think that's on. No, everything you said, Sandy, isn't on. Oh, was it on there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other mics are pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I'm so quiet, nobody could possibly hear. Jan Sweeney, Lincoln Avenue. The Better Business Bureau buying that building, somebody told me that was a real feather in our cap because every place they've been before, they have rented property. So for them to actually purchase property in Crafton is a feather for us. So that,
Great.
but that was word on the street too, so. But I have 4 questions. Maybe one was answered already. My one question was if people had to be a resident to be on any of the boards. Someone had just told me that someone on the library board lives in Oakwood. And I said, well, I think they have to be a resident. And they're like, oh, maybe not.
Go
But
ahead.
if we really need to do that, then we should follow our own rules.
Right.
And I was not here for the budget workshop, but somewhere along the line when I have been here, did I hear that we were talking about redoing the stage roof also? And was that decided, yes, we would do that?
Okay.
Go ahead and ask all your questions.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you.
ahead, yeah.
Thank you, I forgot.
You should, yeah, you should know.
Yeah, I've done this once or twice. The next thing is, I live on Lincoln, but I received a postcard in the mail this big from Pennsylvania Water talking about redoing water lines. I think it was on Taylor and Warren. And I thought it was interesting that, like maybe starting February, they were making a $250 million or something investment, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't know if that was for real, it was really going to happen. And also on the trails, the trail that they're working on now off of Crafton Boulevard, if that's really not safe for people to be on it, if we don't pave it or we don't do whatever, should we post that as a no trespassing so it would kind of absolve Crafton of liability if people take it upon themselves to scamper down there and break their neck? So those are my questions. Thank you.
All right, thanks. So the BBB, there wasn't a question on that. The first one was, do you need to be a resident to be on any of the commissions or boards? The answer to that is yes, you absolutely have to. I think there's only one, which is Tiffany Hickman.
The one caveat here is mentioning, and I don't know whether it was one of our liaisons to the library board. So what the library boards is separate and not subject to our rules.
Right, so the library board, we have, I think they have 6 members on the library board. They can live in various areas. In the coverage of that.
Yes, depending on what their bylaws are.
Right.
Which we don't have an answer to right at this moment. But our liaison members
Right.
need to be.
Right, so we have 2 seats on the board, so Crafton gets 2 seats on the library board. Those folks have to be Crafton residents. And then the budget workshops, stage roof and decision. The decision, at least through the decision matrix, was that we would do the whole roof. Initially, it was just the stage roof or the front portion of it, so now it's the whole roof. That will be up for vote coming on December 11th. Lincoln Avenue postcard, or Lincoln postcard on PA American Water. It was Taylor Street and Marion Street were the 2 streets.
No,
Marion.
sorry,
Yeah.
it was Locust and Taylor.
Locust? Okay.
Yeah.
I can read it verbatim if anybody
Okay,
wants.
yeah,
I
that's
brought
the-
it.
that's the
I
card.
have it, too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, did you want to address it at all? I know we.
I was just going to mention Locust was on the list to be paid in last year's paving program, but it did not get paid because there was a break just before that. And PA American Water mentioned that they would be repairing this main, and that it would be taking place around this time. So that's Locust Street. And Taylor Street is, this is new to us. It's going to be from Broadhead up to North Grandview Avenue. And to my knowledge, it goes through the steps there on Taylor Street. And if that's the case, if they have to rip those out, then could be looking again some new steps out of this.
And we were going to check also about what effect it has on Broadhead.
Right, yeah. And since this is brought to us today, we reached out to PA American Water. We have a contact available to discuss anything regarding this.
Can I just say one thing to that? You mentioned like a couple million of investment level. It did say it's 520,000. Just that's what I meant. Like $1 million was a big number, and I just put it on the record. It was not that high.
Yeah,
But that isn't all for just those
Right. I
2.
just put it.
Right.
The million was a big number. So.
No, I think the 520 is just in Crafton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on the blue with the lady with the
Yeah, it's
hard
right
hat.
there.
Yeah.
We're investing 520,000 in Crafton, right
Yeah.
there. So.
Okay, then we have the trails, the Crafton Boulevard. If they're not safe, should we post the no trespassing sign there?
It's interesting that you asked that, because I had just read in the Trails Plan last week that there was a recommendation in the not Trails Plan, in the Parks Plan, because I've been reading through the Trail Plan to edit it to make sure that it matches because there's some cross-references, and in that plan, it does suggest to us that we put a use at your own risk. So we will be ordering signs. Thank you for mentioning that, but we will be ordering signs that say basically use this at your own risk. Yep.
Great. All right. Anyone else? All right. Anybody online?
Nobody.
Okay, no one online. All right.
Wait, hold on. Greg has.
Greg?
Hi, I have a question about last meeting. Witnesses were sworn in for that hearing, and I was just wondering if that was legally necessary to swear people in for that type of hearing.
I can answer this question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it is legally necessary. Anytime we have a court reporter taking down a report, creating that record, it has to be legally sworn in.
Well, I meant the meeting, not that meeting, I meant the meeting, the...
Zoning.
It was the zoning hearing.
The zoning hearing.
Yeah, but we actually did not have a court reporter at that,
Okay.
but it was an official hearing.
Yeah, anytime you're forming an official record, you want to have sworn testimony, just that people are telling the truth when they speak.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. It is 7:54, and our meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.